Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. In this video, we are going to find out linear density for directions in simple cubic unit cell. Okay, the directions that we are going to consider are 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, and 1, 1, 2. And if you want me to do it for different directions, like to calculate linear density for different kinds of directions having different Miller indices, which could be like 3 to 1, 5 to 1, etc. If you want me to do that, simply comment and I'll do that. So let's quickly get started with our video. First of all, we should know the formula that we are gonna use to calculate the linear density, and this formula is general and can be used for any kind of cube you are considering. For example, whether it is simple cubic, body centered cubic, or FCC, face centered cubic, or other unit cells like hexagonal, tetragonal, whatever it is. Okay, this formula is general and is applicable for all kind of cases. So let me write the formula. Linear density, let me denote it by lambda sign. Okay, and in subscript we can write the directions whose linear density we are gonna calculate. Okay, this is something that I'm writing in subscript. It's totally up to you if you want to write it or not. You can simply use lambda sign, but it's better to use that notation because it will help us to differentiate which linear density we are calculating, like for which direction we are calculating it. That is equals to lambda HKL equals net number of atoms lying on the line, or total number of atoms lying on the line divided by the length of the line inside a unit cell you are considering. Alright, so this is the simplest formula. We can equivalently represent it using the symbolic notation. We can use capital N for net number of atoms lying on the line divided by capital L for the length of the line inside the unit cell. Here, linear density in our case is also known as linear atomic density, and this is the main formula that we are going to use, and this is the formula number 1. We'll be using it for finding out the linear density used for all kind of directions we have. Alright, so let's start with the first direction, which is 1, 0, 0. First we have 1, 0, 0 direction. Okay, whenever you are finding out the linear density, the first step is to draw the direction inside the unit cell. Okay, after drawing the direction, you will be able to calculate capital N and capital L for it, and doing so and putting it back into this equation, you will find out the linear density. Okay, so it is really simple. So let's start. First is to draw the direction. First step is to draw the direction, and we have these Miller indices. The first index shows the x coordinate for the direction, and the second index gives the y coordinate for the direction, and the third index gives the z index of the direction. First is 1, second is 0, third is 0 again. Okay, and you know how what direction looks like. It has a tail and a head. So where will be the tail of the direction and will be the head of the direction? Okay, the tail of the direction, every direction will be at origin of a unit cell, and the head will be at this point, governed by the Miller indices. Okay, the tail will be at origin always, but the head coordinates will be determined by the Miller indices. Alright, so these are actually the head coordinates of our direction that we are finding out here, and the tail will be at origin. After differentiating them, after separating them into coordinates, the second step is to divide by the LCM of the non-zero Miller indices. This is something that you can do in rough work as well, because here LCM that you will get, non-zero indices are 1 only. These are 0, 0, so their LCM will not be taken. So it's simply 1. LCM is 1. We'll divide each of the index by 1. The importance of this step will be clarified in the indices where there are other numbers uh, than 1. Okay, you will see its influence on this direction and others directions, because this is a really important step while drawing the directions from Miller indices. Okay, we have to divide the LCM of non-zero Miller indices. So we did it here, and it's 1 again, it's 0 and 0. So these are the final head coordinates. Final head coordinates are 1, 0 and 0, separated by comma signs. The head coordinates, now let's draw them. For drawing, we'll draw the unit cell first, because the direction needs to be drawn inside a unit cell. This is the unit cell, and you don't need to draw the atoms yet. This is the x axis, y axis and z axis. When all of the indices are positive, this is the origin. Okay, and these are x, y and z axis. When the indices are negative, you have to shift the origin. This is a really important thing to remember. So we have tail at origin, this is the origin, and head at 100 position. Okay, and these are the x coordinate, y coordinate and z coordinate. They show that how much we have to move, okay, along 3 of the axis lines. So let's start moving first along x-axis, and from origin we'll start moving 1 unit along the x direction, which means to the other corner of the unit cell along the x direction. This is the x direction, and 1 means to the other corner of the unit cell. 1 by 2 means halfway to the, this is the whole one length, one corner to another corner, and this is half of it. Okay, this is how we take the numbers. So 1 means to the other corner of the unit cell along the axis direction, which is this point. After that, we can see no motion along y direction, no motion along z direction. 0 shows that. So this is the head coordinate, final head coordinate. So we'll join the tail with head, and we, for head we can make a vector on it, show it's a head. Okay, this is the direction 100 direction. Alright, this is the 100 direction, and since it's a cube, let the length of the cube be, let the lattice parameter be a. Lattice parameter means the cube length from one corner to the other corner along the axis directions. Along the axis direction means this is the axis direction, so one corner to other corner is a, but this is not axis direction, this is not parallel to axis direction, so this length will not be equal to a. So lattice parameter is actually this. Let the lattice parameter be a. Okay, now what is the length of the line here? That is capital L, that is equals to, length of the line is simply a. You can see from one corner to the corner, this is actually the direction, and it's a simply. So length of the line is simply a. Now what are the net number of atoms lying on the plane? We need to calculate it, and for that purpose let's draw the atoms that we know that are here. So there will be one atom here and one atom here. In simple cubic, both of the atom touch each other. Okay, and clarify it. Okay, because this will help you to find out the relationship between the lattice parameter and the atomic radius later on. Just uh, just an additional information that which atoms will touch each other in simple cubic. In simple cubic, all 2 atoms will touch each other which are along the axis direction. Okay, while all other atoms will not touch each other, only those which are along the axis direction, which means I'm taking these center points so that I'm drawing them right. Perfect diagram. I'm just making these center points, and let's make an atom joining these two together, then joining these, then Okay, now here you can see that this is axis direction, x parallel to x direction, and it's also x-axis, so these two atoms will touch each other. This is parallel to z direction, so these two atoms will touch each other. This is parallel to x direction as well, they will touch each other. This is parallel to z direction, these two atoms will touch each other, but these two atoms which are on this line, they will not touch each other. Okay, though this is radius capital R, this is radius capital R, but there will be distance between them, just to clarify you people, because sometimes we normally draw rough diagrams in calculation of linear densities, but it makes sometimes confusion when we are calculating the relation between atomic radius and the lattice parameter. Okay, so that is something that I just wanted to tell you people, that only these axis directions atom will touch each other, none of the other atoms will touch each other. If in diagrams they are touching each other, so it's by mistake or that's random, it's not a problem at all, because that's not the point of the problem. You should just know it. All right. Additionally, these axis lengths from one corner to the other corner of the unit cell are always a in cube. Okay, like this, from one corner to the other corner of the unit cell, this length is a. This is parallel to x direction, so this length will be a. All these lengths, all these highlighted lengths that you are seeing are a always. The lengths other than these lines, okay, since they are parallel to x, y and z direction, they will always be a from one corner to the other corner of the unit cell. But if it is like this length is not parallel to x, y or z direction, this is making some angle, so this length will not be a, it will be something else that we need to calculate. And lastly, one last more thing, important thing to remember, is that all of the corner atoms, their center will be at the corner of the unit cell. Okay, all of the atoms which are at the corner of the unit cell, the atom center, the atomic center is at the corner of the unit cell, which means that the distance of its this point, this corner point, to any point on the circle will be radius. Okay, it will help you to calculate the net number of atoms lying on the plane. Okay, these are the crucial things to remember, from the center to the any point on the circle is always radius or half the diameter. The first thing I have mentioned is true for simple cubic only, like that touching process, while the other two things that I have mentioned is true for every um, cube you are considering only. Okay, so let's continue with our problem. And how you people will calculate the net number of atoms and how you will assign a number to it. Let me clarify this thing to you people. If the whole atom's diameter, this is the whole atom, if the whole atom's diameter, which is this length in whatever direction, uh, whole atom diameter, if it is intersected by the direction, like if this is the direction starting from like this point for example, or like that, if whole of the atom's diameter is intersected by the line, then you will take the atom's contribution to the line as 1. This atom's contribution to the line will be considered as 1. If only half of the diameter is inside the line, for example this is the half of the diameter, this is complete diameter. I hope you know what diameter is. Diameter is from one corner to the other corner of the circle. Okay, so which are in front of each other. So this is the half diameter. If the length, if this is the direction and only half of the diameter is inside the direction, then you'll take its contribution to the line as half. Okay, if for example this is half of diameter and this is 1/4, if only 1/4 of the atom's diameter is inside the line, then you will take the atom's contribution to the plane as to the direction as 1/4. Okay, this is how you will decide and assign number to the contribution of atom to the line, that how much, what fraction of its diameter is inside the line. Okay, what fraction of its diameter is inside the line, and you will do it separately for all the atoms and you will add it up. Okay, so let's do it here. You can see this is the line, this is the complete line. Okay, and you can clearly see this is the center of this atom. Okay, center of the atom is here, and only half of the atom's diameter is inside the line by this atom, so its contribution to the line will be half. Okay, for this atom only half of its diameter is inside the atom, and for this atom same is true, only half of the diameter is inside the line. You can see this is the whole diameter, only half atom's diameter is inside the line. That is why you will take this atom's contribution to the line as 1/2 as well. Okay, so it's half by this atom and half by this atom. You will add it up to get the total number of atoms lying on the line. That is simply depending upon the fraction of atom's diameter that is lying on the line. That is really simple. You have to just remember this simple thing, and you write 1/2 plus 1/2 here, which is equals to 1. Okay, and now the linear density is given by linear density is equals to 100 is equals to 1, which is net number of atom lying on the line, divided by a. 1 over a. This is the linear density in terms of lattice parameter. If you want to calculate the linear density in terms of atomic radius of the atoms making up the simple cubic unit cell, then what you can do is to use the relation between a and atomic radius for simple cubic structures, which is always true for simple cubic structures. Here you can see this whole length is a. You can easily find out the relationship between the lattice parameter and the atomic radius. Here you can see this is the lattice parameter, which is completely a, and this is 1r and this is 2r. Okay, this is 1r and this is also r. This distance is r and this distance, so it's total of 2r. Okay, for simple cubic structures this relation is always true, that the lattice parameter is equals to the double of the atomic radius. So you can simply put it right here to get the linear density in terms of atomic radius. Okay, both of them are correct. So because sometimes for numericals you need to calculate linear density, you need to know the linear density in terms of atomic radius or else whatever it is. So this is the final result for the linear density of 100 direction, and its units are atoms per meter. Okay, for example, the result you get is 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 6. So it is equal, its unit will be atoms per meter. Atoms shows that these number of atoms are there per meter in this direction. Okay, so atoms is not something, it's just showing the its number of atoms. You can even use this thing like per meter, but it's better to use atoms per meter to show that it's atomic density, atomic linear density. All right, so this is it. Now let's do it for the other directions.